The political landscape in Belarus, a former Soviet nation, is undergoing a seismic shift as influential figures within Europe set their sights on challenging the leadership of President Alexander Lukashenko. Namaste and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Vedika. Let's begin. As a close friend of Russian President Vladimir Putin, Lukashenko's regime has faced numerous protests, with allegations pointing to the involvement of the EU and the US in stoking the flames of dissent. The last-ditch effort to overthrow the Russia-backed government in Belarus was long due, but it's finally here. Belarus has been plagued by persistent protests against Lukashenko's government, with many speculating that external forces, including the EU and the US, have played a role in orchestrating these demonstrations. The motive behind their alleged involvement was to prevent the establishment of a pro-Russia administration in Belarus. Adding to the intrigue, Lukashenko's extended absence from public view also fueled rumors and intensified speculation about the country's political landscape. Moreover, Belarus has been an active supporter of Russia during the Russia-Ukraine war. In a bid to bolster its alliance with its eastern neighbor, Belarus has spared no effort to assist Russia. As Belarus shares a border with Ukraine, its support has gained even greater significance. All these factors were making it difficult for the West to accept the government in Belarus, so it finally decided to overthrow it. According to Polish General Waldemir Syrsak, armed Belarusians currently fighting alongside Ukrainian forces may eventually turn their focus to overthrowing Lukashenko's regime. Syrsak urges preparations for an uprising in Belarus, expressing confidence that the Belarusian people will fervently support these volunteers. Let's prepare for an uprising in Belarus because it will happen. The fact is that we cannot miss this moment. We must be ready to support the troops that will conduct the operation against Lukashenko. We have reasons to help them, just as we are helping the Ukrainians, Syrsak said. The Polish general believes that the Belarusian people will support the volunteers who are now fighting in Ukraine and will rise up against Lukashenko with enthusiasm. The significance of Belarus to the West becomes evident when considering the country's strategic location. By seeking to destabilize the pro-Russia government, the West aims to gain a foothold in Belarus and secure control over Ukraine's northwestern border. This strategic advantage would have profound implications for the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Furthermore, establishing a buffer zone against potential Russian aggression would provide crucial protection to the Baltic countries of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Poland, which recently experienced a direct Russian missile strike, would also benefit greatly from the creation of such a buffer zone. The actions of the EU in relation to Belarus take on a deeper meaning upon closer examination. Although the EU maintains a facade of refraining from direct assistance to Belarus, its hidden agenda revolves around toppling the pro-Russian government and paving the way for a pro-EU administration. The battle for Belarus's political future is far from just an internal struggle. It represents a pivotal moment in European geopolitics. As events continue to unfold, the world watches with bated breath, aware that the outcome of this power struggle will reverberate far beyond Belarus's borders. By gaining control over Belarus, the EU would secure a strategic advantage in the region. Thus, the fate of Belarus hangs in the balance, and its resolution will shape the trajectory of the region for years to come.